Hello, so I finished the Prana retreat. Um, you've heard maybe that I'm out and that I'm still alive, and it was an amazing experience. And I've been getting a lot of questions from people how it was and tell us. So in this video, I'm going to share you my experience in the Prana retreat from Menor and Amudra in Holland that I did. Oh well, where to start? Um, this has been such a journey. Um, The retreat is 8 days. It was in Holland, in a purpose-built retreat center with fantastic accommodation and places for people to hang out, and beautiful space to do workshops with great sound systems. So beautiful gardens. So it was a beautiful setting. We arrived on Friday we had 21 participants. I was really surprised how many people. And we had Menor and Amudra leading the retreat with an assistant, Carmen. And so Friday was everybody's arriving, getting to know each other. We shared why we came there, what we were hoping to get from this. And it's quite a diverse group of people. It's not like the spiritual elite, the super spiritual, super humans who can do this. Actually, anybody, when they really want to, you can do this, which is maybe surprising. Um, Quite a lot of people, well, obviously most people were spiritual, on a spiritual conscious journey. Quite a big group of people were dealing with some issues around food, intolerances, problems with their body, their intestines, etc. Some people chronic pains for many years, and this for them is a way to hopefully shift that as well. And I'm very confident actually they will shift it. More on that later perhaps. So the youngest participant 24, the oldest I think somewhere 67, that kind of age. So a whole range of people. And we really started the program on Saturday. We've been preparing before, as you've maybe seen in the videos, going from eating vegan to eating lighter. Then the last week we were supposed to only drink juices. And so on Saturday we continued with just drinking juices throughout the day. And then 8 o'clock Saturday evening we started with the dry fast. And the dry fast is for 3 days. So 27 hours, no food, no water, nothing. And that was basically the core of the workshop. So in that time, what happens is that already with the juices we start to cleanse our system. Yeah, we already do a detox before we go in, and obviously no coffee, no alcohol, no cigarettes, and any of that stuff. So we're already detoxing our body before we went in, and the dry fast, the 3 days, is what starts happening is that your body, first it starts to use up the food and energy it's got in its system, but that quickly runs out, and then it starts taking the energy from its own. It starts searching for energy because it needs to continue functioning. So it starts to withdraw energy from the body. So for some people that is from the fat, but mostly it's from the muscles actually. That's apparently easiest place to quickly get access to it for the body. So it starts to drawing the water out of your cells because it needs moisture to function. So it starts to draw water out of the body and starts to burn the sugars that's stored in the muscles. And very quickly you get weaker as a result of this, as you can imagine. So already by the end of day one, I could really feel the difference. Like, wow, you can feel the strength of your body sort of go. Weirdly enough, throughout the 3 days, I kept my skin was moist. I didn't have a dry mouth. My lips weren't dry. So my whole body kept moisturized somehow. The other really bizarre thing is that you don't get hungry, and I wasn't really that thirsty either. It's really strange. So actually the dry fast in itself, in terms of hunger and all this, that was much easier than I expected. But you do really get that drop in energy. Your energy really goes down. And the third day in the morning, I walked from my bedroom to it's like a conservatory where we were sit during the day. I could really, I got there and I measured it later. It was only 15 meters. And I was out of breath when I got there, which was quite shocking. I was quite shocked, like, wow, that really had an impact. But the whole group is supporting each other, everybody is holding each other, and it's a beautiful process to go through. So as in the first 2 days, the body starts to use up the energy inside the body, and then it starts to go like, okay, I've used it up, now what? And then the magic happens when it switches on the prana engine. So there is this hidden kind of capacity in the body where when that energy runs out, the prana comes in. And you have to activate it. So what we were doing during the day is we would start the morning with a beautiful Kundalini yoga session from Amudra to energize the system. And then we had a breathing session led by Menor, which was very intense. And then we had another second breathing session, even more intense, in the afternoon. And I had a sort of like love-hate relationship with this. I mean, in the beginning of these sessions, I always hated it. It was like you had to do movements and stuff and very intense breathing. I've had different breathing sessions before, but nothing like this. This is completely on a different scale. Super intense and very hard to get it going, but once it gets going, then the body takes over and this energy comes in. And in those sessions, we were feeding prana into the body. And then afterwards, we were programming our body to switch on to make all the cells go on prana, rather than sugar that the cells normally function on. Obviously, I can't share here exactly how we do that, but so that's what we started doing on Saturday, and then every day that was like this. And in the evening we had a variety of different things. We had some talking sessions, I had a sound healing session, mantra singing, different things, but it was an easier session in the evening. Now what happened for me, my journey was, like I said, on the first day already of the dry fast, I could feel really my body getting weaker. So as I was going to bed in the evening, I could really feel like, I need energy. If this is day 1, what's going to happen on day 3? So I really started programming my body to switch on this prana energy. Went to sleep around 11, 12. I think I fell asleep about 12. I woke up at 2:30, and all this energy started running through my body. I was like, what's this? My body started getting really warm, and I got so much energy in that I was almost like jumping up and down on my bed. And I was like, wow, this is the prana energy, the prana engine that goes on. And I was so happy. It was so amazing. So that was a beautiful moment. So in the sessions that we do, we work a lot on releasing all the old conditioning, something like, if you don't eat, you're going to die, which is, I can't think of a stronger belief system and conditioning that collectively we've got on the planet. So we're working to release all those limiting beliefs, and we're releasing all the emotions and all the traumas that are stored in the body. Now, I had done quite a lot of work on myself already in the past few years, but still I was surprised how much was still coming out. Incredible. So as the body is emptying itself from physically, it's emptying itself, and what happens is that if your body goes weak, you have no food to suppress your emotions, no comfort food, literally nothing. So all the emotions come to the surface, and that's how they've designed this program really beautifully to work with that natural mechanism that happens to really get it all out. Because obviously in the future, if you live on prana and you don't eat, there's no suppressing your emotions, so you want to clean it all, that really enhances the success rate of this program. And actually the success rate of this program is really high. It's about 80 to 90%. And that includes people that know before they go in, well, I want to experience this, but actually I don't want to live on prana. But I still want to experience this whole process. So they've got a fantastic success rate. So we work a lot on releasing all these emotions. And the other component in this whole process, what happens is that Menor, with his presence, he's incredibly connected to Source. I haven't met, I think, anybody else with such a connection. Well, Eckhart Tolle maybe. But apart from that, it's amazing. So with his energy that he brings and the connection that he brings and this process, you get pulled into this silence, this Source connection. You really get super connected to Source the further the week goes. The second and the third day of the dry fast are quiet days. We didn't speak. And again, that helps. And everything that comes up, that wants to be seen and released, you need to sit with that and look at it and then work through it. But the silence we went into is amazing. As a group, you could see that whole group, slowly, from all the chatter in the beginning, the excitement, we're going to do this, and then people slow down and go quiet. And that was just such a beautiful process to witness. So then at the end of the third day, we have a water ceremony and we get some water again at 8 o'clock. So funny enough, I wasn't hungry at all. Most people actually, sometimes you get all the cravings come up. You're sitting there with a group of people in the morning and you're sort of going like, when is breakfast? But there is no breakfast. Or you're sitting in the evening together and you go like, hey, where are some nice nibbles? Yeah, there are no nibbles. So but surprisingly, very quickly you get used to this and you just connect with people without all this food. And it's fine. So at the end of the third day, the water ceremony, which is beautiful. Later I'll be able to show some pictures, hopefully. I did want to drink. Everybody, I think, was really ready for some water by this time. But it was much, much easier than expected. Really, it's unbelievable. So we got a bit of water, and then the people who lost the most weight, who felt most weak, including myself, we got a bit of juice with that. And then after 2 glasses of water, we had 2 small glasses, and I really like small glasses of, everybody got some juice to get some sugars into the system, and then we went to bed. So then the last 2 days is preparing us to dealing with the outside world, to make the transition from this retreat back to normal life, and telling us what to expect in the coming months. So what will happen after is that now we're in a phase where we still drink some juice. We get about 600 calories a day to help the body make the transition. Because what actually happens is that all the new cells in the body will switch on the prana perfectly. The old cells are maybe not on prana or maybe not so good, not so efficient. Now in 3 months' time, you renew 80% of all the cells in your body. So in 3 months' time, 80% of my whole system runs on prana. So to assist the old body and make sure that you don't get too much weight loss, we drink some juice to just cushion that fall and make the transition easier. And then depending on that process is very individual. Some people that happens quicker, other people it takes, let's say 3 months. So once I feel, okay, my system is ready, then I can let go of the juices, and then it's up to me. Do I don't drink at all, or do I drink some water, maybe sometimes juice? Do I sometimes eat a little bit, because that's possible? But then it becomes finding a balance, finding the food freedom, how to move forward. But that's for later. Now, the moment that you start drinking already, after that evening, the next morning I felt a bit better, and the next day I felt better again. And this is sort of the pattern at the moment. Each day because more and more cells are going onto the prana, and I keep doing these meditations and exercises, my body is slowly getting stronger every day. But it needs to come from a place, because I lost about 4 or 5 kilos in total. Now let me think. Lost 4 kilos in total. So that's gonna take time. But also, mind you, your intestines go empty, and that's about 2 kilos minimum. So maybe in reality I only lost 2 kilos in my body. So that will take quite a long time before that gets back. But for me, it's not so important. It's about getting the strength in the body back. So I give you a lot of information, I realize. So what are the results for me? So the first thing that is really apparent straight away is that I only sleep between 2 and 5 hours per night. And it's bizarre. I've heard about this before. I knew that that's what happens, but normally I sleep 7 to 8 hours, so I can't imagine sleeping on that little. And it happens the moment that prana engine came in. That night I slept 3 hours, maybe the next night 3 hours, then one night 5 hours, and so it's been up and down at the moment. After I drove home from Holland to England on Friday, I slept 5 hours, and it's now Sunday. Yesterday night I only slept 3 hours. So that's bizarre. The other thing that happens is that I feel, once the prana kicked in, I felt a lot of energy inside. I had a lot of drive, a lot of energy. But that's in the mind, sort of. The body is still weak. So there's this decoupling between the body and the mind that happens. The body is lagging behind. And that's a really weird experience. Normally, if my body goes really tired and weak, my mind also goes sluggish. Now I'm super bright and sharp, only the body is weak. So slowly the body is catching up. With all the work that we've done and the detox, my body feels incredibly clean. I'm super, super, super clean inside. My skin completely cleared up. My skin is very soft, no spots. Amazing. So those are at the moment the most biggest changes that I see. Really very little sleep, connection to source. Really, that's actually the biggest gift of the whole retreat. And apparently this connection will only deepen. That stays, and it will deepen the more you go on prana. I mean, amazing. So I'm now in a phase where I can function and I can do stuff, and then I can just switch it off and go quiet, and boom, silence. And that's amazing to experience. And even when I'm busy and active and doing things, that silence is underneath. So it's a fantastic new experience. And it really feels like this is not just living on prana, it's actually like a rebirth process. By changing that engine, this internal engine, my whole being changes. And I'm now on this journey of discovery of what happens here. So I feel amazing. Saturday I was tired after driving, but that's maybe normal. Today already I feel a lot better. So yeah, it's amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is my first impression after the retreat. I'm not gonna bombard you with videos every day, so when there's something to let you guys know, I'll post another update. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.